Welcome back. This is Tokyo Scramble. This is our Read Manga series. We're reading through a free copyright manga called Blackjack ni Yoroshiku by Sato Shuho. If this is your first time with us, don't start here. Go back to the first episode and start from there. And if you're back, thanks for coming back. This is lesson 17. Let's get into this. Saito desu. Ah, before we get started, last time I had a comment from somebody that pointed out. Okay, right here. Here, let me get my pen really fast. This kanji, I wasn't paying attention. Gappe sho. I read it as gappe byo. But this kanji here, this last one, should be sho. Let's see, byoki and like nantoka byo, nantoka sho. This outside portion is the same, like this outside. Oops. The outside part. This is the same, but the inside, the easy way to remember the difference is actually this. This part is the kanji for tadashi. And the way you read this kanji is you can also read it as sho. So, it's actually pretty hard to make a mistake reading this kanji, but I don't know. Somehow I did. So here we go. Sho. So, whoever pointed it out to me, thank you very much. And remember, sho. Okay. Let's get started. Today's lesson. Okay, here we go. すっかり良くなりましたね。午後には退院できるように手続きを取っておきましょう。すっかり良くなりましたね。There is a lot of words that follow this pattern, and I'm not sure why. すっかり、すっきり、さっぱり、たっぷり、どっぷり. There's many words. I'll make a big list of the words on the attached Google file if you want to look it up. Yeah, I'm not sure why that is, but there's just a lot of words that fall into this pattern. So, すっかり良くなりましたね. 良くなる, like to become better. Like, I totally feel you totally got better. 午後には, and in the afternoon, 退院できるように, being able to be released from the hospital, get out of the hospital, 退院できるように, in order for you to be able to, you guys should be familiar with this grammar, なんとかするように, in order to. 手続きを取っておきましょう. Let's go ahead and start the paperwork, start the process. 手続き is the process or the paperwork or the procedure that you have to do. So, the doctors are talking to this patient. ねえ、先生。せっかくだから最後に一本点滴を打ってよ。Hey, doctor. せっかくだから。せっかく is like while you're at it, or since we're already here doing this, since we're already here, while you're at it. 最後に before, I mean, he's about to leave the hospital, so lastly, 最後に一本点滴. Ippon is just a counter for long cylindrical looking things. So ippon tenteki. Tenteki is an IV drip, so it's long. So ippon, it's like a noodle kind of that you plug into your arm, right? So ippon tenteki o utte yo. And utsu is just the verb that goes with tenteki. So to get an IV, I guess in English you say get an IV, or I don't know. So tenteki utsu. Utsu just literally means to hit. あれをやるとぐーんと元気が出るんだ。俺はいっつも調子が悪いと近くの診療所で打ってもらってんだ。あれを that あれをやると this to is the conditional, kind of like やればやったらやると when I do that あれをやるとぐーんと元気が出るんだ。So 元気が出る is very common. It just means like 元気 like that healthy energy comes out. ぐーんと Japan is full of onomatopoeias. My kids like Pokemon, so if you ever watch Pokemon, the main character Satoshi, Ash in English, if you watch him talk, he talks almost exclusively in like these sounds. Gun to genki ga deru. So this gun is just the sound that how the genki is coming out. It's a bit hard to translate into English. It's a sound effect though. 俺はいつも調子が悪いと So if you notice in いつも itsumo is actually written, there's no chisaitsu in itsumo. But when people are speaking and they're trying to put emphasis on something, they'll put a chisaitsu in places that it doesn't normally fit. 俺はいつも he's just putting emphasis on いつも always. 俺はいつも調子が悪いと when I'm not feeling good, 近くの a nearby 診療所 clinic 診療所で打ってもらってんだ I get them to give me an IV. Oh, sorry. 点滴ですか? An IV, huh? 点滴の中身が何かご存知ですか? 点滴の remember IV 点滴の中身 what's inside, so literally middle body, well, what's inside 点滴の中身が何か what is it ご存知ですか? So 存じ ご存知 is formal Japanese for do you know or know, to know something. So when you're talking about another person, you ご存知ですか would be like 知ってますか? 知ってる but in a very formal way. ご存知ですか? Do you know? So do you know what's inside of an IV? Kozawa-san. Kozawa-san, that's his name. Let's see. 500cc の点滴の中身は要するに 25g のブドウ糖に過ぎません。500cc 500cc's 500cc の点滴の中身 So what's inside 500cc's of an IV は要するに Ooh, we've done this grammar before. I want you guys to try and scratch your brains and remember 要するに and if you can't remember, go back and check that Google Doc that I put up and see if you can find this. We definitely have done this before. 500cc の点滴の中身は、要するに 25g のブドウ糖に、ブドウ糖 this is sugar に過ぎません。So something something に過ぎません is means it's nothing but or it's nothing more. 過ぎ or 過ぎる is too much or yeah, too much basically. So something something に過ぎません or 過ぎない means it's nothing but. So for example, like あれは噂に過ぎない。That's just a rumor. ただの噂に過ぎません。Or, yeah, 過ぎる。Okay, let's see. 牛乳コップ半分程度、わずか100キロカロリーの栄養分ですよ。牛乳。You should know what that is. 牛乳, that's milk. Okay, 牛乳. Cow milk, to be more specific. 牛 being cow, like 牛肉, beef. 牛乳, cow milk. 牛乳コップ半分, half cup of milk. 程度, about. That level of. About a half cup of milk. わずか only just a small amount 100 kilocalorie 100 kilocalories の栄養分ですよ。栄養 is nutrients or nutritional value. So 栄養分 Bun is just it's a way of it's like a unit of measurement. So there's only 100 kilocalories of nutrients. Boom, just as a measurement for an amount of nutrients. ですよ。So, read through that a little bit smoother. 500cc の点滴の中身は、要するに 25g のブドウ糖に過ぎません。牛乳コップ半分程度、わずか100キロカロリーの栄養分ですよ。Basically, he's telling this guy that the IV drip that he always gets at his local clinic does nothing. するって何回点滴ってやつは意味なんかないのかい？ええ、おまじないのようなものです。脱水症状もないのに点滴を打つのなんて日本だけですよ。Let's go back. するって何回 or 何回So, kai, well, first of all, I guess like kai is kind of like a spoken ka. Well, it's softer than ka, but like a ka, just a question, spoken form. Like nani ka, nani kai, nankai. Surute. Remember this chisai with a te is the same as just a to. So, surute, like what you're saying. So what you're saying is what? Nani? What? So you're saying what? Basically. So that means, I guess, surute yeah, like you're saying what? You're saying that's doing what? 点滴ってやつは So again, this chisai tsunete is the spoken form of to. So you're saying that the yatsu, this thing. So what? The IV thing? 意味なんかないのかい? 意味ない means there's no meaning. のかい? is a question. So there's no meaning, no kai. Nanka is a way of, it's just a grammar structure that adds a lot of more emphasis. There's absolutely no meaning. You're trying to say that there's absolutely no meaning to it? Excuse me. 点滴ってやつは意味なんかないのかい? Yes. Is it's actually more polite. It's a spoken form of saying yes, but it's more polite than like, well, I mean, like, height is really formal. But, you know, when you're speaking with someone, you can also say, like, ooh, That's a terrible N. Never write like me, yeah? Ooh, So, you can say, but, is not appropriate when you're trying to speak formally, or in this case, speaking to like a patient or a customer or something like that. So, is more formal. Omajinai no yona mono desu. So, omajinai. Omajinai no yona, like a. Omajinai no yona, like a thing. Omajinai is, what's the English word? It's, what do they call that? Like when you take a pill that doesn't actually do anything. Like there's no actual medicine in it, but the person believes it, they'll take it, and it will actually work. A placebo. Kind of like a placebo. Omajinai no yona mono desu. It's like basically like a placebo. Dasui. This one, datsu, is to go out or to leave or to leave. So dasui is like when you've lost too much water. Shoujo, dasui shoujo is dehydration. Look, haha, ta-da! We knew this kanji was going to come up again. Sho, and then again, if you remember, it's easy to know it's sho and not byo because the kanji in the middle is sho, which means like seikai, like tadashi. Unless you're me, then I'll misread it sometimes. Dasui shoujo mo nai no ni. Noni is the even though. So even though you're not dehydrated, tenteki o utsu no nante Nihon dake desu yo. It's only Japan that gives patients a tenteki, an IV, even though they're not dehydrated, or even though they're not suffering from dehydration. This is actually true. I didn't really realize what was happening. I think because also, hospitals in Japan, the doctors don't tend to talk to you as much. Like, they don't tell you as many details as what's going on. You just kind of accept that they know what they're doing and they'll just do stuff and you'll just kind of go along with it. Which sounds really weird, but I don't know, it's just how things work. So, I don't get sick a lot, but the times I was sick and I'd go to the hospital and the doctor would be like, before they sent me home, if I had a really, bad fever or something, even though I drink a lot of water and I'm very sure I wasn't dehydrated, they would just be like, have me go in there and get like a tenteki, an IV, and I'd go lay down on like a little bed and I'd sit in a room for an hour while they, gave me tenteki. And I was pretty sure it didn't do anything. But then after reading this, it has confirmed my belief that they weren't doing anything. Tenteki. Okay. Oh, here they are on the steps. 意外だったな。白鳥先生って患者さんの前では笑顔も見せるんだ。 So it's kind of a joke. Okay. Um, igai. There's actually two igais. This igai means that it was not expected, outside of expectations. There's another igai that means like other than that. Like, これ以外のものから選んでくださいって言ったら、like something other than this, choose something other than this. これ以外のものから選んでください. Choose from something other than this would be the other igai. This igai, which is a different kanji, this one means like igai datta na, is more like it was unexpected. It was outside expectations. Igai datta na, says Saito. And then his friend is making a joke. He says, what? Shiratori sensei te? He's kind of finishing a sentence. What? That Shiratori, Dr. Shiratori, Kanja-san no mae de wa eiga mo miseru nda. In front of the patients, like in front of the patients, he can also eiga o miseru, show like smile. Yeah, that was unexpected. What? That Shiratori sensei, Dr. Shiratori, would actually smile in front of the patients? It's a joke. Sarcasm. Okay. だけど、点滴を進めない医者なんて珍しいよね。So if you've seen, I think in the last 3 frames, if you go back, they've all used this nante. So there's a lot of really good examples of nante. Nante is like, it's just one specific way of emphasizing. Like it's really, yeah, that's all it means. It's emphasizing it. Like, isha nante mezurashi yo ne. I mean, it's really rare for a doctor to not recommend an IV. だけど, but 点滴を進めない医者なんて珍しいよね. A doctor who doesn't 進める おすすめ What's your 進める Your recommend, who doesn't recommend an IV is really rare. なんて. Yeah, so go back and check out all the nante sentences. There's a lot of good examples. You can start trying to use nante. Let's go a little bit further. 点滴の成分なんて Oh, there's another なんてそんなもんだし注射料も入れると1本1000円以上するからな以上するからなちなみにこのい is the 意外のい the other 意外 that I was telling you about this one hang on I said there was different igais. So there's this igai. This igai is unexpected. And then if I put this I onto gai. Hang on. If I put this I onto igai, then this is like the other than. Yeah. Just so you know. 点滴の成分なんて 成分 is like the ingredients or the contents, the ingredients that make it up. So the contents of an IV なんてそんなもんだし I mean, that's what it is. He's just saying, I mean, that's the truth. That's what it is. That's what's in the IV. Dashi. I think we've talked before about ending sentences with shi. I mean, it is. That's what it means. I mean, it is. I mean, that is what's inside the IV. And chusha, remember, is injection. Chusharyo is the fee for doing that. Chusharyo mo ireru to, when you add that to the equation, ippon. Remember, it's just counting something long or cylindrical. So we count tenteki with pon, ippon, nihon, sanbon. Ippon, 1000 yen 以上する. Over 1,000 yen. One tenteki is over 1,000 yen. 1000 yen 以上. Over. するからな. You can also end sentences in kara. Kara na is pretty common. So a lot of these participles that you learned as connecting like things that connect, like nantoka shi or nantoka dakara, you can end sentences in spoken Japanese with them. And I think it doesn't feel strange at all because you're implying meaning, or you're implying meaning by basically ending a sentence with a participle, like ending it with and or ending it with a because. And that's just how a lot of the language works. It's just a feature of the language. There's a lot of things that are implied, which sounds difficult, but when you get it down, it's actually very, very convenient language because sometimes you can say a lot by not saying much. So you don't have to know that much Japanese to say a lot. Okay. 患者は1割負担だから100円しか払わないけど、確かに病院はちゃんと1000円儲かってる. Let's just do that. Patients, 患者は1割. So 1割 is 10%. 2割 would be 20%. 3割 would be 30%, and so on and so forth. So 1割 is 10%. 負担する is to bear a load, to bear a burden, to burden something. So 1割負担 means that the patient pays for 10%. They take on 10% of the burden. 患者は1割負担だから, so 100円しか only 100 yen is all they pay. しか払わない. They pay not but 100 yen. けど but 確かに yeah, it's true. 病院は the hospitals ちゃんと usually means doing something the right way. In this case, it's not really it doesn't mean it's right, but it means they're definitely doing it. 1000 yen, 1,000 yen, 儲かってる. 儲かる? I think we've done this word before. Take 5 seconds to try and remember. 儲かる. What does it mean to 儲かる? 儲かってる, 儲かる. Make money. Get rich. Make money. Here we go. そういう無駄が積もり積もって国の医療財政を圧迫するんだよな。そういう無駄が so that type of 無駄 muda is meaningless, or in this case wastefulness. そういう無駄が積もり積もって to 積もる something is to like pile it up. So 積もり積もって is to like things just building up over time, to pile up. So that kind of wastefulness, it builds up over time, like little things. And 国の the countries, the national 医療 the medical, and then 財政. 財 is like financial, and se is like something to do with the government or politics. So it's like the countries, the national medical money, funding, budget, not budget, but yeah. を圧迫. 圧迫 is to put a lot of pressure or to Yeah, to put a lot of pressure on something. 圧迫するんだよな。うん。いや、そう、点滴の成分なんてそのもんだし、注射料も入れると1本1000円以上するからな。患者は1割負担だから100円しか払わないけど、確かに病院はちゃんと1000円儲かってる。そういう無駄が積もり積もって国の医療財政を圧迫するんだよな。Okay, we'll go a little bit more and then we'll finish up. Let's finish up here. 僕も今朝余計な医療をするなって怒られたんだ。それも医療費の無駄遣いをやめろってことなのかな。僕も I too 今朝今朝僕も今朝 this morning 余計な余計な余計 is like a unneeded extra unwarranted extra very common word very useful 余計な医療を治療をするなって怒られたんだ。そう余計なtreatment をするな。な is the negative, like don't do it. Command form, don't do it. するな don't do it. で怒られたんだ。So usually we see like something と言う like he said, like なんて言うなんて言ったするなって言った but you can he was 怒られる is to get in trouble, to get yelled at. So I too this morning got yelled at by saying not to do 余計な治療 and unnecessary extra what did I just say? 治療treatment. So それも医療費の無駄遣いをそれも that too 医療費のmedical費 like the fees expenses の無駄 remember 無駄 is unnecessary or meaningless 無駄遣い so useless using overusing like 無駄遣い is like kind of wasteful spending. There we go, wasteful spending. So やめろってことなのかな So I guess he's also saying to you to stop this wasteful spending of medical money. 無理して頑張ることねえよ。どうせ給料3万8000円のままだし。So 無理 is impossible. So 無理する is to yeah, I mean to 無理する is to like push yourself beyond your limits, but not in a good way. It's like going beyond your limits in a bad way. Very negative connotation. Like, so 無理して頑張ることねえよ. It's not something to 頑張る to try your best and like kill yourself over. どうせ like it's like man, either way, we're still our 給料 our salary is 3万8000円 about $380. No mama. It hasn't changed. So no mama, no mama. 38,000円のままだし。She, again, we're ending the sentence with she. Okay, I think we're going to wrap it up there for today. As always, if you have any questions or comments, or if I've misread a kanji again, go ahead and leave me a comment. Yep, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. Take care. That's it for me, Tokyo Scramble.